years of comedy gold coming up. Cheer up. It may involve nuclear weapons and other countries, but it's going to be funny.
Ooh.
Yeah, village people, and there's the idiot. There's the loser. Well, this is the shock news to everyone who'd been telling us for weeks it was neck and neck, and it wasn't at all.
No.
Right, you're deported. There's the face of a man who's won without cheating.
Yeah.
And he couldn't believe it.
Yes, that's correct. That is the historic U.S. election, which has put the first woman in the... Hang on. Let me redo that. The historic U.S. election, which has put the first convicted felon in the White House.
Yeah.
What has the press reaction been like?
I don't know. I haven't seen a paper for years. Have you know?
Largely, the Tory press were thrilled because they'd hoped it was going to be Trump. Their headlines like, Trump gives hope to the Conservative Party. And so there's a feeling that the right will triumph again everywhere and possibly here.
I think German newspaper Die Zeit best summed it up. Why do the polls always get it so wrong?
It's not the polls that are the problem, it's the Americans, Roy.
Maybe people are reluctant to say how they're going to vote if they're sort of going to vote for Trump. They don't want to admit it in public, but then go ahead and vote in private. I don't know.
But we always think pollsters don't bring their own prejudices to the polls. They're somehow magically independent. They're not. And repeatedly, I mean, we saw it in Brexit, and we've had it lots of times. People sort of believe what they want to.
And who they asked as well, it's like who they... People keep saying shy fascists, and I don't know... Shy fascists?
Yeah.
Tiptoeing into Czechoslovakia. Look at me, I'm a shy fascist.
A lot of people seem reluctant to admit they supported Trump. Even Republicans in the state of Georgia claim to not be that impressed with the candidate in the build-up to the election. Have a look at this.
Who are you going to vote for?
The right person.
Well, who you think the right person
It won't
is?
be Donald Trump.
Okay, tell me why.
Last time you saw him talking, did you watch his lips? Were they moving? He's lying.
That man was lying. You could just tell by the way he was talking. He's got a fresh Klan robe in the closet. Neatly pressed.
We've got slightly different libel laws over here. Just mentioning it early.
No.
I'll visit you. His basic problem is he's confusing the role of President of America with 1970s light entertainment comedian at the BBC. And the fact that everyone's tolerated him up to this moment, suddenly they've said, well, look, Donald Trump, he's awful. How could we have told? And he's been campaigning for months and months, and we've never had any indication that he might be thoroughly ghastly in any number of ways. I mean, how were we to know? This is unfair.
At what point was it not ludicrous that the presenter of The Apprentice in America could become the Commander-in-Chief? It's like saying the presenter of Have I Got News for You could become Foreign Secretary.
I'm sure that loyalty will be rewarded. And this is the President of the United States.
He is.
At the moment, clapping himself. He's about to be impeached for trying to influence foreign governments to interfere in US elections, which is illegal. And the evidence for it is that he admitted it.
In a phone call.
And then repeated it publicly and said not only should Ukraine interfere, but China should as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he's read any history, but...
No. It's a quick answer to that one.
Yeah.
No, he's a moron. In the end, he didn't really think that what he had done was wrong. So therefore, he produced his own evidence. He's self-impeaching. I mean, I'm not saying he talks out of his arse, but every time he sits down, his voice is muffled.
But he is prepared to calmly and rationally answer questions on the phone call. Let's have a little look at the clip.
The question, sir, was what did you want President Zelensky to do about Vice President Biden and his son, Hunter?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, it was just a follow-up of what I just asked you, sir.
Listen, you ready? We have the President of Finland. Ask him a question.
I have one for him. I just wanted to follow up on the one that I asked you, which was...
Did you hear
what
me?
Did you want
Did you hear me?
Yes,
Ask
sir.
him a question.
I will, but...
I've given you a long answer. Ask this gentleman a question. Don't be rude.
Don't be rude.
What's Trump done to try and distract attention from the impeachment?
Oh, he started a war.
Elaborate.
Well, he had a phone call with another sort of dictator from Turkey. And obviously, I don't think he thinks much. And the other guy said, do you mind if I invade Syria and attack the Kurds? And Trump went, no, go for it. Good idea. And then got off the phone, and then it happened. And everybody else in America, all the people said, they're our allies. They just won the war for us. Don't do it.
Oh, but he had a justification, didn't he?
What was
that? He said the other day, he said, well, you know, the Kurds, where were they in World War II? They didn't help us at Normandy. Because, well, they don't live in Europe. They also kept mighty quiet about the gunpowder plot, so...
He tweeted a warning to Turkey not to take things too far, saying, as I have stated strongly before, and just to reiterate, if Turkey does anything that I, in my great and unmatched wisdom, consider to be off limits, I will totally destroy and obliterate the economy of Turkey I've done before. They must, with Europe and others, watch over. So that's cleared that up.
Oh, there's more.
Is there more?
Yeah, Trump's proposed to the Queen. And she's accepted, and the wedding is next year. They're going to have it in Trump Tower. It's going to be fantastic.
Oh, I look forward to it.
Yeah, I'm best man.
Oh, yeah.
He hasn't actually appointed him. I mean,
but via Twitter. I mean, that's real, isn't it?
the president isn't actually allowed to appoint our ambassador yet.
No. Thankfully
not on Twitter. If he does it on Facebook, it's legally binding.
So it was a late-night tweet from Trump. Do you remember roughly what it said?
It said that many people think that Nigel Farage would make an excellent ambassador between the UK and the US, or
That's
something along
in the
those
sense of one.
I responded to Donald Trump and I said, name them.
This is exactly what he said. Many people would like to see Nigel Farage represent Great Britain as their ambassador to the United States. He would do a great job.
Donald Trump doesn't even follow Nigel Farage on Twitter, which is a massive digital slap in the face.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, he doesn't even follow him, so he doesn't think he's that great a job. He doesn't think he's got top pants online.
Do you know what? Can anyone remember? You remember Christopher Mayer, who was Tony Blair's ambassador to the US?
Yeah.
Do you remember what his instruction was?
Yeah. Get as drunk as possible and then avoid everybody.
He was pretty nearly that.
Was it?
He was told to get as far up George Bush's arse as you can.
Exactly. It was exactly... We want you to go...
Is he allowed to use crampons? Is he?
We want you to get up the arse of the White House and stay there. So that's the brief. Actually, maybe Nigel Farage is qualified.
Well, Blair did it himself. He didn't actually need an ambassador.
Now, who'd like to see a picture of Farage, quite possibly the happiest moment in his life? I think that's the door into Trump Tower.
It is fantastic. Have you seen the pictures of inside? It's sort of late Gaddafi, the perhaps early Saddam, but it's a riot of vulgar dictator chic. It is.
Meanwhile, how is Theresa May's special relationship with Trump coming along?
Very good.
Very good. He said to her, if you're ever over, do drop in.
Let me know.
Made that up. That was it.
If you're coming over, let me know. That's what you say to the couple you don't like on holiday, isn't it?